All right. All of you freedom loving boys and girls, whomever you are, wherever you are, Centerline Systems, Loadout Live. Hey, I hope the volume's working. It says it's working. Last week when we did this, somebody give me a little thumbs up in the chat. There's already some good comments in the chat. You guys hear me? We got a couple of Minnesotans in the house. I like this. I'll read the chats here in a second. Just looking for a thumbs up in the chat, because now I'm all paranoid about the Gene just gave me a woo. I guess that is a thumbs up. All right, so you guys can hear me. All right, good. Again, I don't know what happened that last live. It just it's supposed to work, didn't work. Hey, gonna have a fun live stream here tonight. If you got questions, comments, this is gonna be one of those chances for you guys here on the live. Really appreciate you guys being here. We're gonna have a little bit of a giveaway. I got some announcements to make. I'm going to show off a couple new little ideas, kind of dance around the edges on one or two things, and just generally have a really fun night. And then just, share some general information. So as somebody likes to call, I call it housekeeping or the fluff. We got just a little bit of housekeeping to do. So let me just jump into that real quickly. Part of my housekeeping, and I apologize. You know who you are, sir. This gentleman is so awesome. It just sends me all these dad jokes. So I said I was going to start or end all my live streams with one of the jokes this guy sends. Steve L is what I'll say. So here's the joke for tonight. And these are just horrible dad jokes. That's why they're great. Dad, can you explain to me what a solar eclipse is? No, son. I know. They're just they're so horrible. They're awesome. I love it. Hey, keep them coming, sir. You know who you are. All right, let's actually, I don't even know if I'm okay. I hear you. Okay, some people did. Gene just gave me the woo. All right, as always. So another little piece of housekeeping before we kind of jump into the meat of things here. I talked about this in the past. Look, and I'm not gonna lie, and I haven't gone into all of my woe is me, Veterans Affairs bullshit and just my physical stuff. But the Thursday and Friday, look, and I'm working 10-hour days, and then, so it's always a scramble. So I am going to cause some separation. Now, I've had a couple people also recommend some different timelines. I'm going to throw that out there. Want to hear what you guys have to say, but here's what I'm going with right now. And I know somebody's going to say it's your show, Mark, do what you want to do. Yeah, I got that. But I also want this to be the best and work the best for all of you great, men and women out there who are taking the time away from whatever you could have been doing, to be here with us, during these lives. So here's what it's going to look like going forward. So the first Monday of the month, we do the Millstone episode. I'm going to keep that first Monday of the month, 1800. I think I'm going to move the Loadout Lives to those Mondays. So then what that gives you is for every Monday of the month, let's just say it's 4 Mondays. It's not always that, but you get what I'm getting at. We'll do the first Monday is the Millstone, and that's kind of like a little pseudo. We're going to teach some things. So next Monday, our Millstone episode is going to be on what we're calling F kits. And I didn't even realize this till the other day, but if you get the picture. If you look at it, spell it, it kind of is like F it, these are things you don't want to say F it to, right? This isn't F it. I don't need that type of moment. So that's what Monday is going to be. That's going to be our Millstone. And I'm going to keep that at 1800. I've had some people who've recommended that I make the times for the loadouts 1900, 7 o'clock Central Time, in order to help out and maybe give some more people in the Mountain and Pacific time zones the ability to watch. At the end of the day, it's just never going to be perfect. I do that, and then I lose some of my European audience. Then it also gets a little bit too much into the workday for Australia and Japan. It's a little bit too late in the day for them. So I think I'm going to just keep it at 1800. As much as I don't like the 1800, I'm just going to keep it at 1800. It works. It seems it captures, a good amount of people on both sides and still gives our European audience and our Asian audience a chance to be here and watch a live stream. So Mondays are going to be the loadouts. The first Monday of the month is going to be kind of a pseudo training course. We're going to like talk about some stuff, show you some things, bring on guests, so it isn't just me, isn't Blake from Fog, bringing on other people, sharing some experiences, kind of like what we do over on the CLS Gear Chat on Telegram. But we're going to do that as a live stream so you can ask questions, make, recommendations, hey, you guys are all idiots from northern Minnesota. What do you know? Yeah, well, maybe nothing, eh? You betcha. So that's going to be Mondays. And then, so for the loadouts, so for the other, if you want to call it 3 Mondays of the month, I'm going to do 2 loadouts with a guest, and I'm going to get into that in a second. There's a method to my madness. And then one of the Mondays will be like what we're doing here tonight, just giveaways or a general conversation, or I'm showing off something new, a little bit more general purpose. So that gives me a little bit to do more of give you guys inside baseball, what we're doing at Centerline, where we're going. And I mean it seriously. And then that gives everybody a chance, whether you're watching it live or on demand later, to leave a comment, because I value your input. And, this isn't about me. I mean, and so a lot of the gear that I make, it really is about me. I'm not going to lie. It's like, I got mine. I make a lot of this gear because it's what I want when I'm out hunting or doing tactical stuff or camping or whatever. But a lot of that stuff and a lot of the recommendations, and I'm going to show something off here tonight, come from you great men and women, right? You guys say, hey, have you thought about this, or could you tweak it that way? You know the deal. And I'm not picking on anybody. I've had a couple people in the last, 2 weeks asking, hey, could you do this? Could you do that? And when it comes to like, it's not that simple, right? It isn't just, just sew this on there. You're like, and a lot of the times I'm redeveloping a product completely. You might as well just start from scratch. Even if you're just adding an inch here or 2 inches there, it changes the whole dynamic. You still got to go through that process, map it out, template it out, cut out pieces. Even if you just like we call it Franken pouch. Even if you just sew it together quickly, it's just so you get the concept. All of that takes time. So we can't really do a lot of that. But we have a lot of people who ask, or make recommendations, like, Herb Loops, for example. Herb, if you ever watch this video, God bless you, sir. To this day, we named it Herb Loops because Herb said, hey, could you just do this one? And I thought about it. I'm like, well, hang on, for me to do that, okay, I could do it this way. And, and honestly, when we sell mothers, it's probably close to 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 people want the Herb Loops. Better to have and not need than need and not have. So that's what we're going to kind of do on the loadouts. So again, just to reiterate, the first Monday of the month, that'll be with me and Blake and then a guest, and it's going to be more of a training class, but more on the self-reliance, right? So, just more on that kind of stuff, outdoory self-reliance things, and we'll just share some knowledge, background, TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures, or tips, tricks and procedures or practices. We'll do that. And then I'll do a loadout with a guest, then me just having these kind of like showing off new things, giveaway, like I already said, and then a loadout with a guest. And then we start the cycle all over. That's going to be Mondays. And it starts next week, because with Millstone, we'll just start it. We'll just kick it off right away next week with Millstone. That's going to be 1,800. Now on the loadouts, and again, I hate to bore everybody with the fluff, as the guy called it, but but it's important. You guys matter. This, I like being here. This is fun. I like being, I'm getting way more comfortable being in front of the camera. You guys in the chat make it a lot of fun and interest, and just keep it real, right? So I like that. Well, I've reached out and I've had a few people reach out to me about coming on as guests. I mean, John, who's been on like 2 or 3 times now, and he's going to be on tomorrow night for our CLS After Dark, and I'll talk about that in a second. But he's come on and it's like, how much stuff can he keep pulling out of the gear? So I really like it. And it's not me being lazy, because you guys all have your own ideas and ways of you doing it. Over on the chat, somebody just posted their loadout of their gear. So a lot of that stuff. So I'm trying to get more of you guys and gals to come on as guests and just show your loadouts. And so stay tuned. We've got more people like, who are, like, okay, I know, but I'm going to be live on the internet. I'm like, yes, you are. You are like, yeah, I get it, Roger. It's nerve wracking. It's kind of scary, but that's what we're going to also have more of going forward. So if you ever want to come on, whether it's a CLS After Dark, which is not really political, it's just more of like, we're all having a beer at the adult table, having an adult table conversation, or showing off your gear and doing a loadout on one of the loadout lives. So if you ever want to be a guest, or if you've got ideas or things that you want to see, and we're taking that to heart over on Millstone. Some people have already said, hey, talk about this, talk about that. That kind of led into the F kits. Yeah, see, even when you say it fast, you get the point. You're picking up what I'm putting down. And then on that note, so if you want to do that, just reach out to me, right? And I really would appreciate it. It's awesome, and I would love to get. We're just folks, right? Let's just be here and share with other folks, right? None of us are, Joe. No offense to Joe Rogan. I mean, like, gosh, I wonder if Joe Rogan offered me to switch places for a day, would I do it? The answer is yes. Of course I would. It's Joe Rogan, man. Could you only imagine what that guy's life is like? Or Elon Musk or something like that. If Elon Musk switched places with me for a day, I wonder if I would get to fly around in his Iron Man suit. I don't know. Hey, but tomorrow night, our CLS After Dark, and this is the last part of housekeeping, then we'll get into the fun, the bells and whistles, the woozahs and doozahs, or whatever Dr. Seuss says. But so tomorrow night for our CLS After Dark, we're going to talk about the fourth estate, media writ large, the pros and the cons. I've got some negative things to say, but I've got some positive things to say about the media. For example, this is one of them. This is media, and it gives us an ability to reach out and share time with each other. So that's going to be a fun live stream tomorrow. Same time, 1800 Central Time, the fourth estate, which is the media. And if you want, go look that up. But what does that even mean? The fourth estate. Why do we call it that? And that's kind of why I titled it this way. But we're going to have two of you great human beings on as guests, right? People who've been reaching out to me or been communicating or sharing information over on the Telegram, on the CLS Gear Chat. John, aka Gimli, he's already been on once or twice. And now we're going to have Learn Me Something coming on as well. So you're going to hear three different people from three different parts of the country with three different perspectives talking about media. Might be really boring. You might just want to make sure you have like a whole bunch of Fireball or whiskey or scotch or whatever you're drinking. But I'm looking forward to it. And that's all, hats off to you great men and women for sending jokes and be willing to come on and share your ideas. And on that note, and we're not going to get John on here tonight. He's coming on tomorrow. He already chimed in. I'll do the comments here in a second. He's out working. He's a hardworking man. But we do have a giveaway tonight for the small mini pocket neck everyday organizer, and I'll get to that. And John is going to pick the winner. He's already told me what he wants the question to be, and then we'll let this go for a day or two, and then we'll announce it tomorrow night on the live stream. So here we go. Let's just give everybody a quick shout out. Thank you for being here, Gene. Woo! Dan. Hey, Dan, he's saying, hey, guys, Snowshoe Dave checking in. Yeah, move down here. And then we got Learn Me Something, tuning in from the outskirts of Gotham City. All right, that's what I like to see. There you go. And then John, he's tuning in from the HVAC van. Then we got Steve L. Good evening from Michigan. All right. And then we got the Husky Bunch from northern Minnesota. All right, now I'm just even more interested on who you are. I mean, thanks for being here, Husky Bunch. I don't think we've seen you here before, but northern Minnesota, that's where I am. That's where. Hey, were you wearing flip-flops and a t-shirt today? It was like 36 degrees, Husky Bunch. I wish I could have been outside more today. I just was outside for a few minutes. I'm like, even when it's dark, it's still like 30 degrees outside. It's very warm here. And we got Hannah Ben from northern Minnesota. And then she's saying, two Minnesotans. Say, what about me, Hunter Ben? I'm a Minnesotan. That makes three. And we got Gene with a big woo. Steve, okay, he was just telling me he could hear me. Dan giving me the same. Yeah, Gene. Yeah, no sun. Yeah, okay. Big Visk in the house. Hey, Big Visk, haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you here, especially on Rumble. And we're going to talk about that stuff, media. That's going to be part of the conversation tomorrow. So, and I don't know if you guys follow social media, like really pay attention or care. ScrewTube just came out with some new policies. It's only just starting to be spoken about or talked about. And to me, it's no bueno. It's just more censorship. Section 230 has to get removed, revoked. Who is this John bloke from Gene? Yeah, exactly. Who's John? Okay, Gimli. I'll just say Gimli. And we got BCP in the house, out with the chickens, listening in. Just look out for that rooster, man. Hey, and then we got Phil in the house too. Haven't seen Phil in a while, coming over from Twitter X. And then Husky Bunch is saying it hit 44 where he or she is located today. Yeah, it got a little bit warm out there. No doubt about it. All right. Well, thanks. That kind of got us caught up on giving everybody a quick shout out. Thank you for being here tonight. I kind of did the housekeeping. So just one last time, next Monday is CLS After Dark. And from that Monday on at 1800 Central Time. So we're going to stick to the times. Sorry, Mountain and Pacific. I get it. But then somebody's going to get screwed no matter what. So it just is what it is. So we're going to stick to 1800 Central. That'll be Monday. That'll be our Millstone. And then that'll be our Loadout Lives going forward. And then the tomorrow night, Friday, CLS After Dark. We do those on Fridays. That's going to be our last Friday for CLS After Dark. I'm sorry. I realized I probably didn't say that. And I'm going to move CLS After Dark into this Thursday time slot. So that's another question I want to hear you guys say. If you'd rather see it on Friday, that's great. But look, I mean, it's northern Minnesota. We get like between 6 and 8 months of winter, but it will be spring and summer again. And my fear is Friday nights, come summer, who's going to want to be hanging around watching a live stream? So I'm kind of thinking I just shift that to Thursday. So, but tomorrow, CLS After Dark, Friday, 1800. But next week, which actually is the beginning of February too. Yeah. So there you go. So starting in February, Mondays will be Millstone and the Loadouts. And then Thursdays will be CLS After Dark. Make any comments or suggestions if you think that's absolutely stupid or whatnot. Just let me know. All right. And then on that was 16 minutes straight of talking. I'm a little parched. I don't know about you guys. Before I get into the gear, just on a personal note, just as a human being, these last couple of years, I mean, I'm sure it's the same for everybody. The economy's been shit. World events have been shit, all kinds of fears and trepidations and stuff. Here's my thing for 2025. I think it's incumbent upon each and every one of us to make this one of the best years in our lives, in our history, in our societies, in our communities ever. That's going to be my thing going forward. Not putting up with bullshit. I'm not taking lip off of, people who are talking, obvious, stupidity. I'm going to try to, and I know that sounded negative, but it's just my way of I don't have time for that. I want to focus on the positive. You guys, I love what I do. I love the gear we make. I love the men and women I get to talk to or purchasing our gear, and they're hearing their stories. Positive stuff. Yeah, I think Corona made a lot of bad people even worse. Well, I'm just going to pour on the sunshine. It's just just laugh. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm actually having a great day. It's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, God bless. I wish you well. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Here, we already got a comment on that. Yeah, 2025. Yeah, and I'd love to see it the year of CLS, Gene. Lord knows we need the economy, the global economy, the American economy. We need that to come back. That'll probably come up a little bit tomorrow in the After Dark as well. All right, here we go. So just and you guys chime in questions. I'm going to not really necessarily slow roll this, but I'm just kind of letting you know what we're doing here going forward. And again, some of the things I'm going to present, I do have questions for you guys. So I didn't quite get there today. I'll get there tomorrow. I've been trying to work on the website while I'm cutting material, putting in snaps. You know the deal, right? It's just is what it is. But I should have the website. I'm sorry. And I do have the gear bundles. So for that Christmas, prior to Christmas, we were making small quantities of, certain colorways and certain products that were going to be available for next business day. Nothing really customized, right? But, our normal products, but without, you didn't get to pick and choose the thread or the webbing. It was, here's what it is. Excuse me. Those are up on the website right now. So when I make gear or, for us to for the next business day, or even a gear for me for photos or a new product, like prototyping. So we're going to prototype something next week and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I actually make a work order for us and I put it in the slot. So I'm not taking away a slot from somebody who's paid and is waiting patiently waiting their turn. So we didn't have a lot of those because I only had given myself one extra slot to do like a re-up. So we had our original stash, if you want to call it, of items that were next business day. We did a re-up. We don't have very many of those left, but they are on the website right now as bundles. So, and you go see the bundle video, but it isn't going to last very long. And I know that sounds like I'm trying to sell things, but we already had somebody buying one of the bundles before I even had them on the website. So I hope it goes fast. I hope you guys like it and appreciate it and take advantage of it. But so there is some gear on the website, and maybe we'll do that every now and then if we're doing like a new product or a limited run, or we want to test a colorway. So again, don't ever hesitate to reach out and say, hey, Mark, what about this? You know, if I get enough people thinking, you know, they're interested, I'll do it. But one of the things I didn't get to, so the website's going to look different come Monday of next week. I will carve out some time over the weekend, tomorrow and the weekend to, I've got to add some things, and that's one of the things I'm going to show you. I think you guys have seen this before. So this is that awesome Nemesis camo. It's one of our G3s, but this is a new version of the G3, and and instead of that last large pocket, it's that vinyl protective sheet for like map sheets, things like that. We're going to call it the ham roll. This should be on the website for the G3, available as an option. I should be able to get that on there tomorrow. Well, or, you know, or however you want to say it. I mean, maybe it'll be Monday, but I should have this on tomorrow. That's actually, I know it sounds stupid, but that's only like, you know, 8 different clicks and 5 different rules I have to do. So when I do work on the website, this is adding this in as an option is one of the least of my worries. But I'll have this on there. So it's just going to be called the ham roll. I'll put the ham roll video on the G3 page. It should be there right now. I'll have to double check, but that'll be available. And that going forward is so you can get the regular G3, large pocket, 2 small pockets, large pocket, or the ham roll, large pocket, 2 small pockets. And then the rest of that body, as you saw, has a clear vinyl on the outside of it. So you can put map sheets under there and, you know, use it for hunting or, you know, just land navigation, however you're going to use it. And by the way, it was funny. Somebody left me a comment. You know who you are? Like, oh, I better make one of these lives or come on a loadout so I can defend myself about, you know, the Edo. No, man, there's nothing to defend yourself about. I mean, like, shit happens, you know, and it's if we don't take a serious look at lessons learned, then we never can learn any new lessons. So like, no, don't be embarrassed or anything. I mean, like, if we want to sit down, I'll tell you all the stupid mistakes I made in the military or the agency or just in life in general. We all make them. So no, please don't be offended because I talked about that. It's just, yeah, we got to learn from something. It gives a great example of telling people, you know, don't do that. The stove is hot. Don't touch it. So ham roll, that'll be on the website. It's the same clear vinyl as the Everyday Organizer. Go see our Everyday Organizer loadouts, or just even the smaller loadout I just did with John a couple days ago. We just posted that. And then that's where you get some of those cleaning tricks. And so just on, you know, on that note, when we first did it during the live, I had no idea John was going to write on it with a Sharpie. And I'm like, oh, you're going to ruin this on a live stream. And that little trick, I mean, you know, a little eyeglass wipe, you know, alcohol wipe. I did not know that would work with a Sharpie. And I don't know if John just got lucky and it's the material allows it to happen or whatever, but that was pretty cool. I'm going to show one more thing and then we're going to do the giveaway. Yeah, I'm going to show one more thing. So let me put this off to the side. I'm kind of bouncing around. So now this probably won't be on the website till next week. It's on the website right now. As you guys and gals know, I make gear for Jack over at Black Scout Survival. I make the concealment wallet that's got an Ulti clip on the back. And I'll do another video on this, but that Ulti clip, it's like 90 pounds of pressure to open it. It's very incredibly secure, but it would allow you to use this as a concealment, like inside of a bra, inside of the hoodie, inside of your waistline. Whenever I have a couple bucks, I'm not going to lie, I just use it as a money clip on the back for my cash. And then on the inside, excuse me. And then on the inside, it's just like our Key DC, right? The difference between the Key DC and the concealment wallet is the Ulti clip on the back, right? And that opens like that. You can kind of see it right there. And then your clothing, your item slides up underneath it, and then you clip it back shut. So, the gear I make for Jack over at Black Scout, and I love working with Jack. We've been working with each other a long time. if only all business could be done like it is with Jack. I mean, it's a phone call, and it's two men giving their word, and it's awesome. I love working with Jack. Love his customers over there at Black Scout. So there's a BSS gear tab on the website, Black Scout Survival Gear. That tab next week is going to be active, and you'll be, so I'm going to have a link there and try to push everybody over to Jack's side, and I'll show the other gear we make for him in a second, because we're not going to sell like the inserts or the lickies and chewies that go inside, right? Like a lot of his guys will get this concealment wallet and they'll use it for a micro surreptitious entry, like handcuff, lock picking type of kit, or you can use it as wallet. Me, I really, I think it's a great travel wallet, especially if you're in a foreign country where there's pickpockets and things of that nature, right? This is your real wallet concealed somewhere on your body, and then you just have your discard or your throwaway wallet to give away to a schmuck, or throw on the ground if somebody's trying to rob you. But the concealment wallet, the concealment belt that we make, so we make our everyday carry belts. So Jack reached out to me a long time ago, wanting to make a belt, like just the north-south rigidity and the comfort on these. But as you can see on the inside, now this is one we just made for us. Where the hell am I? Oh, the thing covered it up. There we go. So there's a concealment pocket, and I did it in red. So because I'll shoot this video and show off how these things work. So there we go. So there's a concealment tab, a concealment pocket up in the front, and a slightly larger one in the rear. And I'll do a completely different video showing how these deployment tabs work. That was, Jack reached out to me, a long time ago. Hey, do this. I actually used a lot of concealments in my time in the agency in clothing. This isn't it isn't going to escape near scrutiny. If somebody looks at it, the tabs are normally the color of the webbing for your belt. I did it in red, so they're going to show up more when we do the video showing it off. But, even if it was still black, you're going to see that back there, right? So it's not going to escape or stand up to near scrutiny, but far scrutiny, pat downs, if you're concerned about that. And we'll do a separate video on that, but that's going to be available on the website. Again, it's there now, so you can see it. You can go to his website. And then last but not least, the kick-ass med pouch that we make for him as well. So these 3 items starting next week will be available on my website for purchase as well. Now, big however, comma, I contract with Jack. I make these for him. So we're not going to turn this into like what we do at Centerline. It's not going to be pick and choose your threads. I'm going to stick with the colorways that Jack wants to carry with these things, and that's what we're going to have available. But if and then again, I'll have a link. So like for the med kit, for example, or well, here, just even the concealment wallet. You want lock picking material. You want to get into that. It is a great skill to have. I'm not even joking around. It's nothing wazoo or sweet secret squirrel about it. It's a great tool to have. I've had to pick my way into other people's houses or into their vehicles, and it's always funny. People laugh like, "Oh, what do you got that for?" I'm like, "Do you want me to open up your door or not?" Yeah, I guess I do. So yeah, okay, whatever. But so whether it's the concealment wallet, but if you want all the accoutrements that can go inside, that would be, then you just would be better off purchasing all of that over on Jack's side. But if you just want just the wallet and you're getting them other canteen care, our thought is this is going to help you guys save on shipping, because you buy the concealment wallet for Jack and then the canteen care for me, you're paying shipping from Jack and then you're paying shipping for me. Well, this can help people save some cash. And then now on the med kit, it doesn't have to be used as a med kit, just like anything, it's got multiple functions to it, right? It's very functional, the functionality, right? But if you use it as a med kit, now this is my insert in there, but I've got an insert that Jack sells as well. But if you want the inserts or decompression needles or medical supplies, shears, trauma, tourniquets, TQs, whatever you want, he sells that as well. So if you want just the pouch, the med pouch, you can get that, combine it with your order, save on shipping. If you want the inserts and everything, well, then you probably just are better off just buying it all over on Jack's side. So that's another kind of big little note right there, because we've never done that before. But, Jack and I kind of just looking back at everything, and it's just like, you get a bunch of customers, and I get it. Oh, man. I'm getting it from you, and then Mark's doing this, you know, not so much on the med kits, but on the belts. You know, if you're buying one thing from me and then, you know, and then a bunch of stuff from Jack, but then I'm drop shipping the belt, and it's just, you know, it's silly. And I'm here to tell you, shipping is, we'll talk about this maybe in tomorrow's, you know, CLS After Dark, or maybe a different Loadout Live, but you know, shipping is, you know, like, I never know how to say this, and I don't know if I should say it, but I'm just going to say it. There is no such thing as free shipping. And I'm sorry if that bursts somebody's bubble or pisses somebody off, but whenever you see somebody say, you know, free shipping, I'm here to tell you, there's not a business out there that can afford to lose money. If they're giving you free shipping, and here's what a bunch of them do, they actually take the cost to ship one of these items, add it to the cost of their goods, you know, so it's in the sale price. And if you buy 3 things, well, you paid for the shipping with one of them, they just made extra money off you. And just ask yourself, who can afford free shipping, and how cheap is the gear you're buying that's giving you free shipping? I mean, because that's like, seriously, bottom line, like, you know, it's freaking expensive, and it ain't going to get any better. So on that note, I see we got a couple comments coming in. Let me go over here. I think we left off with Gene, and then we'll get in. Hey, prep yourselves. We're going to do the giveaway here next. All right, get ready. It's not going to be a timed giveaway though, but I'll explain in a second. I think we left off with Gene. Then we got Learn Me Something, who is going to be one of our guests tomorrow night on CLS After Dark. Woo! All right, way to go. Learn Me Something. Loves the Black Scout concealment belt. He wears it every day. Roger Dodger. Husky Bunch is saying bump keys are cool. Yeah. And that skill set is cool. Seriously. And it is a very valuable skill set to have, to know that kind of stuff. I'm not sure what Gene was saying. I said honor. He's saying honoring your friends. That's a real man trait. Awesome, Mark. I'm not really sure what I just did to make you say that, Gene, but I'm not going to disagree with you. So thank you. And more importantly, you know, your icon, you know, your thumbnail icon there, we all love. So I'm not going to definitely not going to disrespect that. And then Big Visk. Yeah, you pay for it on the front end or the back end, but it has to be paid for sure. Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why people don't get that. You know, like somebody, like, just give me, like, it's as though I can command the United States Postal Service or UPS or whomever to give me free shipping. You know, like, hey, just give me free shipping, man. Come on, Mark. Why is that a problem? Well, because it's like $15 or $20 out of my pocket. I mean, that's why. It's money, man. It's real. Well, everybody, no, they don't do that. They, you know, you're just buying into that, you know, oh, free shipping. There is no such thing as free shipping, boys and girls, not to belabor that point. Then we got Gene talking about Jack from Black Scout. All right, here we go. I'm going to take a little sip. I hope you guys enjoyed this this giveaway of what to do, and just the good-natured fun and generosity that John, from John's part, right? This is all John. So give me a second here. All right. So, you know, go see our other videos. Now, this is one of the originals. It's we're going to call this the Mini E, right? We had a naming convention. There were some great names. Gene, for example, had a great name. Gene, I love it, but it sounds a little bit too much like a drug, you know? And, you know, and no offense, I don't want to piss off too many Marines, you know, because those guys will hunt you down, you know, they hold a grudge. So, I mean, it's a great name, but, you know, I'm kind of thinking the product name. And John, who's been on our podcast before, had submitted Mini E, like Mini Edo. So I like it because it's like a mini Edo, but it's also going to give me a lot of opportunities to do mini me things. Like, you know, like I'll do like superimpose my face on Dr. Evil because I'm pretty much as bald as he is, you know, and then I can have mini me saying something. Then I can have the Edo and the mini E. So I'll get to have a lot of fun with it. So we like that name. By the way, based on your guys' feedback. So this is, again, was the original one that we were thinking of doing, but they're going to come with loops on the top. So you can do it as a necklace if you want, you know, attach your own lanyard or something. The ones I have are actually over with Alex Messenger, our photographer, being photographed right now. So these guys should be on the website. So you'll see a placeholder, you know, coming soon. I just don't have the pictures yet. That'll probably take about a week to 2 weeks, give or take. You know, everybody's got a life. But the final version does have, and I've shown that off, it has the loops on top. So the giveaway for tonight, I'll make you one, your colorway, whatever you want, you know, the original version with the loops on top. And so even though I'm choosing John's name, the Mini E, we didn't want that to look like favoritism because he's been on the podcast and stuff before. So John had a great idea. All right. And I'm just going to set the stage here. So here's part of it. So everybody get ready. Here we go. Let me add this to the stage. Let me full screen this for a second. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Get ready. This sets the stage for the giveaway.
Oh, come on. We can take them. It's a long way. Toss me. What? I cannot jump the distance. You have to toss me.
All right. So that's John's. John wanted me to show that clip specifically, right? You know, because, you know, he has that Gimli moniker when he's on the live stream. So here's the question. And don't leave it in the live, the chat. Leave this in the on-demand section in the comments, because that's where John will be able to read them. John is going to make a decision on, and John's picking the winner, not me. So John is giving up, even though I chose the name he came up with. He didn't, you know, neither one of us wanted it to look like favoritism. So he's going to give up his Mini E to whoever comes up with the best answer to this question. And that's why I did the clip. So you just to set the stage is, how far can you toss a dwarf? That's the question. So whoever comes up with, and this is all up to John, whoever makes him laugh or insults him or makes him ponder life, whatever your answer is, whoever John picks is going to get a free Mini E, you know, and I'll work it out with you afterwards, you know, like what color you want, you know, make sure I got all your shipping information, all that. But that's our giveaway, kind of having fun. But hats off to John. You know, he was like, I was like, yeah, you know, and there were some great names, and I'll respond to everybody's names tomorrow on YouTube and make comments. I kind of left everything up until tonight. But great. There were some really good names. I really liked all the suggestions and the ideas that people came up with. Some were funny, some were serious. I mean, you know, good names. Gene just said, and then here, right there, Mini E is a better option. Well, I mean, it just makes a little bit more sense. Ito, Mini E, you know, everything we just said. Husky Bunch, I may have missed that. Just gave a big oorah. I think I was talking about Marines hunting me down, so I don't want to piss them off. So no offense, Gene. That's why we're not going with your name. But yeah, so there's our giveaway. So not in the chat, but in the comments on demand. Answer the question. I mean, it's also awesome. I mean, it's in the movie. So if somebody says, oh, that's being so politically incorrect, it's in the movie. Gimli is asking Aragorn to throw him onto the bridge. And he's like, you got to toss me, you know, and John does that really well. And he's obviously watched that movie. So, you know, he adores it. So that's our giveaway. The Mini E. Leave a comment. How far can you throw a dwarf? It's not anything to do with political correctness. We're just having fun, right? So, all right. That was the giveaway. I've got really only one more major thing I want to show off. Well, two things. I'm sorry. Let me get to the smaller one and I'll end it on another item. Well, actually, I guess we got three things I want to say. So this is from last year. You know, I made an apron for the shop, but it could be a barbecue apron. And I've had a handful of people reach out in email and say, hey, are you going to do that this year? Well, the answer is, so this, I know this isn't a complicated product to sew, but it's a lot of sewing. It's a huge surface area. It's a lot of material that goes into it, especially this binding tape. So I think well, and then here's the other sad thing. Again, it's just the reality. You know, the material, the labor going into this isn't going to be a $20 apron, you know, and that's the problem. You can find $20 barbecue aprons made in China. The first time you look at them, the seams fall apart, you know, all day long. So a top pocket, you know, a kangaroo pocket down below. We're going to do it. I think we're only going to do like maybe 5. And it's going to really kind of depend a lot on you boys and girls, because if I do that, I think I'm just going to pick one colorway, one pattern, and that's what I'm going to do and just see how people respond to that. So on that note, I know it sounds stupid, but you know, I mean, April's like, or spring's like 6 months away for us here in Minnesota. But for a lot of you guys and gals, you're already barbecuing or you're still barbecuing. So leave a comment in the on-demand section. If you like the idea of a barbecue apron, it's a shop apron as well. So it's multifunctional. I think if I make it a dedicated barbecue apron, the upper pockets will maybe be bellowed. So you can put like, a bottle of beer or your hot sauce or whatever in there. And I'll probably have to do 1 or 2 other connection points for tongs, spatulas, that kind of stuff. So we probably would tweak a little bit, but we are going to do it. And we talk about this over here in Centerline. This has been going on for years now of making our own Christmas stockings. 2025 has got to be the year on so many levels. We're going to do a limited run of those aprons this year and in time for Christmas. So we've got to probably do this in August or September. We're going to do a limited run of kind of kick-ass, kind of tactical stockings. The problem with that is you all know it. There's a gazillion made in China, cheap ass companies already doing those products. So I don't want to try to compete with that. And most people are like, why would I spend $80 for something I can buy for $8? You do you, man. And when you don't have a job next week, or when all of your coworkers have been replaced by people who are willing to work for, something that sells for $8. Yeah. Okay. Well, you just let me know how that goes for you. So we'll do that. Then, I guess one last announcement, and then I'm going to show you one last product. So again, earlier when I mentioned when we do prototyping or when we are making products, our timing run, we occupy a slot just like we are a customer. Well, so we were going to do it this week, but I bumped us because I wanted to take care of some other customers first. We had, rucksack that takes a full day. We're working on that. So we've got some other larger things going on. But so we were going to do it this week, but we switched slots. And next week, we're going to prototype the skeleton chassis. So knock on wood. We'll see how that goes, but stay tuned. So we should, and I'm here to tell you, this is a project I've been wanting to do for almost 3-4 years now. And every year we just never can create the time to make this product because it's probably going to take a little bit of time. Not as much as the rucksack, but just something else always gets in the way. I mean, it's life. It happens to all of us, but we're going to do the skeleton chassis next week. So we're going to start prototyping that. So stay tuned. I'm not going to talk any much more about it. I know there's been some people sending me emails. I apologize. I haven't responded because I thought I was going to talk about it last week and then it got delayed. And so we're just now talking about it this week. So hang on. All right. And before I go into the last thing, there's some comments and then I'll show you the last product and that should be it for tonight. Gene is saying Gimli has to dress as a minion now for not liking a crayon pump. Well, if you're with us tomorrow night, you can tell him that, Gene. He probably, I don't know. He might like that too. Phil is like, I'm glad Lord of the Rings is a fairly common topic is on the show. Phil, thank you for saying that. If you haven't noticed, pop culture is a fairly common topic, whether it's, Futurama, Archer, Rick and Morty, go look at Crossing Swords. That's, there's Die Hard. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff here. Lord of the Rings. Hey, but I'm just going to go on the record, probably get in trouble. I didn't really care for the live action movies. I thought the casting wasn't right. I mean, Boromir, that's not Boromir. I mean, no offense. He's a great actor. That's not Michael Biehn, or maybe it is Michael Biehn. I mean, he's a good actor. He's been in a lot of great movies, but that's not Boromir. I grew up reading that stuff, and I'm not saying I'm right, but I read it at a really young age. I think I was in 4th grade when I read the Fellowship of the Ring trilogy. So my brain has a very young vision of what Aragorn looks like, or Boromir and Gandalf and all that. And there is a I think it's 70 something animation that incorporated human beings into the animation. Now that movie, they ran out of money. It's Baskin. It only went to Helm's Deep, but there's some like the death of Boromir. I think I've played that, clip over on our Gear Chat once or twice. Yeah. So yeah, there is a little bit of a place for Lord of the Rings here. You are correct, Phil. You've come to the right place, sir. Then we got BCP. It depends. No, you can't leave the comment here. You've got to do it in the on-demand side so we can all see it, because not everybody sees the live chat comments, right? So you got to put that over as a comment to the video. It depends on the weight, but just as far. But I guess you're saying a dwarf goes just as far as a midget. Okay, put that in the comment. Okay, so Phil, same thing. Leave that as a comment as well on the demand. All right, so you're thinking if we do it, you'd like to see woodland, and woodland's not a bad choice. I know there's a lot of people who like that woodland M84. So, all right, and then, the wood shop, and then, so honestly, I would probably want to tweak, like right now, it's set up for me for my shop as well, right? So my top pocket is more about for pens and small tools that I use when I'm cutting material. So yeah, so Phil, make a comment in the video. I'm going to keep those comments, and I'm going to start making a list. And if there's enough interest, yeah, I think we'll do a run of between 5 and 10. Maybe we'll do 5 woodland and 5 something else and just see how it goes. All right. But thanks for commenting on that. Johnny Walker. Okay. Great reference. That's a really great reference. Matter of fact, I'll throw in, well, see, that's just too easy. Everybody knows what that reference is, because the answer should be, I don't know. And then you go bouncing into oblivion. That reference right there. Hey, sir, go ahead. As I was just saying, over to Better Call Paul. Leave that in the comments for the video. So John sees those things. So Gimli sees those and he can pick from. But that is a damn good question. I guess maybe you're asking for clarification on the contest itself. What type of dwarf is it? That's a good point. John, you might have to weigh in on that and specify if you are watching while you're working. All right. Oh, we got one more comment. See, now, so Phil, and aliens, that's another one, Terminator, pop culture. So Dan just jumped in with a great line. All right, sweethearts, you heard the man and you know the drill. Assholes and elbows. Hudson, come here. Come here. Great movie, great reference. We've played that before. Hey, we got Andrew Stuff coming in from over on Rumble. Thanks for being here, Andrew. Hey, and boys and girls, you do you. But I'm just saying, I've got to do a little bit more research myself. But ScrewTube is changing. We'll see what happens. I'm praying for a really good 2025. Positive thoughts, positive outcomes. Let's make the world a healthier place, a safer place. Let's reach for the stars. And I don't think censorship, if you disagree with me, why would you want to censor me? Wouldn't you want to expose me for the fraud or how incorrect I am? If you just don't like my opinion, that's childish, right? Go sit at the kiddie table. So if ScrewTube is, which already, I'm kind of getting into tomorrow night. You can see I'm getting prepped for tomorrow night's CLS After Dark. So I'll leave it on that. But you guys, you do you. But if you can, get on Twitter or X, get on Rumble. I'm not really happy with Rumble. Their search optimization isn't the greatest, but yeah, but whatever. And then Gene is giving Dan a big thumbs up, awesome job. And then Andrew, yeah. All right. Hey, wrapping it up here. Here's the last thing. And this is, again, you guys and gals weigh in. Tell me what you want to do. So we made one. I'm about to show you. I made one of them because I wanted to test it out, because just as my thought was going. So on our mud flap, right, the cover for the Mother Canteen carrier, right? If you want to have a cover on it. Me personally, I don't want to have a cover on it. I want to be able to drink on the go. I'm not worried about some twigs and dirt getting there. I turn it upside down. But if you want a cover, and a lot of people do, that's why we created the mud flap, right? But I wanted to make it so you didn't have to buy, because if you bought a Mother a year ago, I'm not trying to sell you a new Mother because it's got a built-in flap. If you want, it'll work with, even if your Mother's like 8 years old or 7 years old or however long. But so right here on either side, there's a little loop, and we were using G hooks. Well, we are using G hooks. Those things aren't cheap. I'm not upcharging, just like I don't upcharge on camouflage or, other, issues, right? I just can't lose money. So I was charged. Those are my costs, $5 each for those G hooks. I was selling them for $5 each. Camouflage, whether it's the Kadura or the webbing, when you see add $1.50, maybe it was $1.53 and I dropped it to $1.50, or maybe it was $1.47 and but I'm basically charging exactly the difference that I have to pay for the material. But that's $10 to this little product just in the G hooks. So I was thinking to myself, I said, hey, self or other Mark, well, could you do it a little bit differently? And the answer is we can, and it could save you $10. So now I'm not 100% sure exactly how this is going to come out, but so this is the one I made for me for my carrier, right? So Ranger green with multicam black. This is the wolf gray that this guy normally nests on. But what I'm hoping you can see, so like right here, the G hook is still on how I had it set up for the wolf gray. But I'm hoping you can see the difference here is, yeah, right there. So instead of just the loop on the bottom, right there, where the G hook would attach to, right? That's this guy. The hook part of, how am I going to be able to do this? Will it show up against my orange? Put my hand down there. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the hook, right? So that hook, the G hook, goes up underneath the little, the loop of material here on the mud flap. Well, if I take that, and this is what we did, and instead of just having a loop there, I put another plastic buckle. So it looks just like the pocket flap on the mother already. So that's how the mother is. You know, you got a chasm buckle up top, and then on the pocket flap, you got a female buckle. So, and this is tight, but you'll kind of see it. So you can already see it right there. Chasm buckle, female buckle. So we just duplicated that. And then that would allow the bottom strap, your adjustment strap, to strap in and pull the mud flap down and keep it tight. That is, now again, those plastic buckles, I mean, you know, you're going to save $10 if I move it in this direction. That's what we're thinking of. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it, because look, you know, even if things get better, and knock on wood, things get better, we are so screwed financially. I mean, just the amount of debt, the inflation. I was saying 6 months, and I kind of realized I probably like way underestimated. I mean, we're looking at six to 12 months, best case scenario, to turn this stuff around. So much stuff has to happen, you know, within our economy here in the States, and then other people's economy on the global level. $10 is still $10, right? It just is. And on that note, so as a small business, you know, every year I have to do an end of the year inventory, see how much gear I still have or material I still have, because I can't claim it if I didn't use it, right? So while I was doing that, I did a kind of a snap end of the year cost of goods review, right? Just did and my cost of goods are 2 years old. I haven't updated them in 2 years. 2 years ago, I knew I should have raised the price. I talked about it last year. I said I was going to raise the price. And then I said, well, I'll wait till summer. And then just the economy just so shitty. I'm like, but I just can't do it. Right. So I did a cost of goods review. Prices are going to have to go up. So just the thought process is, well, okay, I don't want to, well, if this is going to have to go up, well, find a way to like help bring it down a little bit. There's nothing I can do on the labor or the material unless it was the G hooks. If you still want the G hooks, I mean, I think what we'll do is we'll just leave it. Here's, you know, this flap is how it comes, and it'll be plastic down below that attaches to the bottom of your pocket. Here, I should do it this way so the mic still picks me up. But if you want the G hooks right there, we can still do it, you know. And I'll keep a small quantity on hand, because some people want them over on the mother as well. So I always keep about 50 of them, you know, but that's a lot of money just sitting on the shelf, right? So that's another concern, is just like I have concerns just like everyone else does. So again, you know, let me know here in the chat. I'll take a look at it. But give me your thoughts in the comments, whether you watch this on demand or after, you know, the live. $10 is still, that's like a beer somewhere in America. That's still a beer. And if you could save $10 on something, you know, I don't know why you wouldn't. And if you don't want to save $10, I know a guy who will gladly just accept it for you. You know, I'm sure you can always leave me a tip on Venmo or something. I don't even know what those things are, but here we go. All right, hang on. And I'm glad, Andrew, thank you, because I know you're Andrew here. I don't want to speak for him, but Andrew is pretty active over on Rumble. He and I have talked before. He's tried to give me some pointers, getting it through my thick old man skull. I guess it had to fight its way through my beard. But I'm glad you commented, Andrew. Andrew's talking about Rumble. He's saying the search has gotten a lot better than it used to be, but agreed on the search function. So it's better, but it definitely needs some improvement. But look, if you, again, I'm not telling you what to do. If you want to get an account on Rumble or X, yeah, you do you, right? You want to join the CLS gear chat, get an account on Telegram and send me a request. If you don't want to do that stuff, that's fine. If you want to stay on ScrewTube, Mike, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'll hold off on that. I've talked about that before in the past, but I acknowledge that a lot of most people are still on YouTube. And so you got to be on YouTube. But it would be nice to be able to do exclusive content other places, because if YouTube is going to continue going down the sensorial direction path that they've been on, then again, you're not a platform, you're a publisher, and you don't have protections under Section 230. My humble opinion. We'll see what this current administration does and how they respond to that, because that's going on. Andrew's saying he's got one of the original gangster MCCs beat to hell and back and still holding water. That's what I'm hearing. Hopefully it took a bullet for you or helped deflect one or something too. Yeah, right there. And he just said it. He'd be happy to save a couple bucks if you had a cheaper. Yeah, well, that would be it right there, Andrew. Again, leave that comment, in the comment section below for other people to see. I mean, that's basically $10, right? So whatever the price of the product is or is going to have to be, but that'll still be a $10 savings on top of that, just going to the plastic buckles and not using the G hooks. And then truth be told, the other way I'm looking at it is then it's up to you, the end user. If you want the G hooks and you're willing to pay for it, and again, I'm not ripping you off. I'm not even making money. Like somebody would say, Mark, that's just stupid. If you're buying them for $5, then you should sell them for $7.50. I just can't lose money. And on some of these levels, I just had a conversation with a guy today. Well, you can charge me for that. I'm like, by the time it took me to sit down, get in front of the computer, fire up PayPal, get all your info, do an invoice, all that for $1.50. It took me 7 minutes to do all that stuff. That I lost money. So just, God bless you. Drink a beer for me this weekend and call me stupid. So wrapping it up. Gene, much better option in my eyes, does away with fiddly bits. And Gene, to your point, I've already had people who lost their G hooks. I had, and again, no harm, no foul. Like, hey, no, I'm the guy who does all the packaging. I know the G hooks were in there. You emptied it, you threw it away, you didn't put them in the right spot, you'll lose those things. So I agree with you. It's a more static, it's always going to be there. And if you want to use the lid, well, then all the components are right there on the lid. That was another thought right there. Good job, Gene. Glad to see at least you and I are thinking the same. And then, and I need to do that as well. Also, can the mud flap hold water to wash your eyes if debris get in there? I have to get back and doing videos. So that rubberized material we use is on the inside. You could use this for an impromptu dog bowl, as well. Put water in here, and now your Poochie can be drinking out of it. You could use this as a field expedient, catch water, throw blueberries in there. It's the same material that we have on the inside of a lot of our products. So yes, it would be able to retain water if you wanted to use it. Gene, you could pour a whole bunch of scotch in there. Just saying. Big Visk is saying $10. That's a ribeye when they're on sale. Exactly. Andrew's agreeing. Lisa Mack, thank you for being here tonight, Lisa. I think we've seen you before, but no matter what, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I put a reminder in for the live show, but miscalculated by an hour here in Oz. Oh yeah, no, I do know who you are, Lisa. Well, thanks for still joining us. So, plus depends if work meetings. Looks like the live starts 11 a.m. Wow, gosh, I was wrong on my time calculations. I thought it would have been 10, but yeah. Well, thanks for joining us here, Lisa. And I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show. There is going to be some. I'm not going to repeat. Just go back and rewind it if you want, but. The loadouts are going to move to Mondays, and then the CLS After Darks are going to be Thursdays. Go back and check that out. And I would greatly appreciate if we see you over here for some of the lives or for the CLS After Darks. And then kind of wrapping it up here just with some comments. Rumble has 100% subscriber revenue turnover to content creators. So if you want to support Mark or other awesome creators, you should find them on Rumble and support them there. Here, and Andrew does not get a percentage for any of you guys to come over. I didn't know he was going to say that. I didn't even know if that was the case. I'm sure it could be monetized. I just never really looked into it, but thanks for pointing that out, Andrew. But you don't get a percentage, sir. And then BCP saying the mud flap, back to you, Gene, right? Who's asking about the mud flap carrying water. Yeah, Gene. BCP is confirming holds water for hours. Big Visk. Big Vis saying, oh, Big Vis is over on Rumble right now too. Right? He didn't know that. Good way to attract more people. Andrew saying, Gene, agree, keep it simple, stupid. Too many fiddly bits can be confusing. Yeah, honestly, you guys are right on that. And not everybody knows how to use a tri-glider, weave the webbing through. And, I know that sounds stupid, but it's just a reality. Like, we don't know what we don't know. So yeah, I think you guys are right. I think that's where I'm right now. I'm 95% positive. We're going to switch it over, use plastic components, and then give people the option of using G hooks if that's what they want to do. And then another $10 comment. You don't have to pay to subscribe though, Andrew. I think I'm confused. $10 is 2 months of subscriptions on Rumble for Mark's channel. No, maybe I'm misunderstanding or misinterpreting, but it's free. You don't have to have I don't know if you're trying to say you could go and leave a donation or something, but no, it's free. You don't have to have a subscription to watch me on Rumble. You better not. I thought it was all free. Ground fog in the house with the clap. And then Gene just saying, Paul, thanks, buddy, for the info. And then we got Nick in the house. Woo! Made alive finally. Though you seem to be wrapping it up. Yep, we are wrapping it up, Nick. But thanks for coming back or coming over. Thanks for joining us. Just go back and rewatch it while you're making dinner or having a drink tonight. It'll be worth your time. There is a giveaway in there, by the way, Nick, that isn't part of the chat. It's going to be in the on-demand only comments, and we're going to pick the winner and announce it tomorrow. And Lisa, same for you, just to let you know that. Dan is a G-Hook fan. And then Andrew, we'll just wrap it up there. We're at an hour. The nomenclature is different on Rumble than YouTube. Andrew, we probably need to have a chat here again somewhere in the near future. And I probably just need you to school me a little bit more on Rumble. And then Lisa, and everybody who just kind of joined in at the end, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it, guys and gals. And thanks for joining us. I'm going to just give a quick second, see if anybody's got any last questions or comments. Somebody did. Steve's just jumping in. A New York strip instead of a ribeye. Hey, go look up ribeye. I don't know if you'll be able to find it. I don't know where you'd even find it, but years ago, there was a really funny post about what a private wrote when a drill sergeant had him do an RBI. It's a military thing, it's basically reinforcing, it's like a punishment, but you're making somebody do something to have them hopefully better understand the punishment. But this soldier wrote about a ribeye, an RBI ribby. Anyway, it's pretty damn funny having to do with steaks. And see, now you guys are just making me hungry. Big Visk, ribeye over strip any day. Okay, guys, enough. I got to still make dinner, and I'm old, and it's late my time. Hey, thanks for being here tonight. Again, don't forget, there's a giveaway. Leave a comment in the on-demand section. Next Monday is, I think that's the 3rd of February. It's the first Monday of February, whatever next Monday is. Pretty sure it's the 3rd. That's going to be a Millstone episode, still here on this channel, but we're going to be focused a little bit more on that self-reliance. That's what we do over in Millstone. And it's going to be something that we're going to call F-kits, and it'll make a little bit more sense when we do that. Tomorrow night, the CLS After Dark, same time, 1800 Central, right here on Centerline Systems. We'll do that. Got 2 great guests. We got Learn Me Something and Gimli coming on, and we're going to talk about media, pros and cons of media in America or even in the world today. Come in, give us your war stories and your comments as well. That'll be tomorrow night's CLS After Dark. Then next week, we'll start the new schedule. Start it with Monday. Like I already mentioned it, that'll be the Millstone, because the first Monday of every month will be Millstone as opposed to a loadout. And then next week's CLS After Dark will be on, in this slot, will be on Thursday at 1800 Central Time. And then Nick, just to let you know, you missed it. So the ham roll, I already kind of, where are all my props? Here it is. Yep. No, I didn't get a chance to get it on there today. This should be available as an option for the G3, the ham roll. Let's show it off one more time. You know, the clear vinyl. That'll be up as an option on the website. I should be able to get that up there tomorrow, Nick. Oh, hang on, Nick. Is this you, Jungle Juice? Oh, you got to go back and watch it. I gave you a big prop and a shout out. I'm like, no, if I don't want to say it because that might not be you, but yeah, no, man. No, I'm pretty sure that's you. Yeah, because you'd made a comment like, I'm going to have to come on and defend myself. And I was like, the beginning of the episode, I'm like, no, we all have to learn from things and we have to be honest about the mistakes we make. That's why they're called lessons learned. So yes, the ham roll's coming out. Jungle Juice, and then but use Gimli's trick. I think it works better than the Jungle Juice. Okay, nomenclature. Andrew's giving us some last bit of school, and we'll wrap it up here. And then Nick is saying, "Yep, okay." I thought that was you, sir. I saw your comment on a different video the other day. So, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. And then come on, we're just all having fun. Rumble subscribe is a paid membership. Follow is a free membership. YouTube subscribe is a free membership. Members is a paid membership. Andrew, yeah, I'll just talk to you offline and then hopefully I'll get smart on that. And then maybe I can communicate that to everybody what that means. But, well, again, all I'm just trying to say is do your own research. ScrewTube is messing around with some other stuff. I'm starting to hear other creators talk about that. I'm not really a creator. I'm just a guy in front of the camera talking about his gear. But I mean, like the guys who actually have channels, creators. Some of them are starting to talk about it. So something weird is going on with ScrewTube and more sensorial crap is coming down the pike. So not good. No bueno. No bueno, boys and girls. All right, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Here tonight with us. Yeah, with us. Not just me, but everybody in the chat. I really appreciate you guys. Really do. It makes it so much more fun. If you want to be a guest, we've got people coming on to do their loadouts. We've got, new faces coming on, who want to, hey, I've got an opinion. I'm willing to sit and talk about this. Don't be shy. I mean, it is scary. I'm not going to lie, oh, do I say the right thing? Did I pick my nose? Did I, whatever. Yeah, it is. It's live and it's there forever. It's on the interwebs. But this is one of the better things about modern media and modern communications is our ability to reach out in real time, no matter where you are in the world, and have a conversation, have an adult conversation and communicate our ideas with each other. And that's how we're going to make 2025 better. So really appreciate it, everybody. And then last thing, yeah, Gene's giving a plug for the Telegram. We're having lots of fun over there on the Gear Chat. He's getting a little plug for the funs and giggles. There's lots of little funs and giggles going on over there for sure. And recipes and all kinds of other just, sometimes it's just straight up wazoo stuff, but whatever, that's how it goes. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you taking the time to be here. Hope you enjoyed tonight's live stream. Got a bunch of things coming this year. Skeleton chassis. We're going to be prototyping it next week, so stay tuned. I'll be working on that mud flap. That'll be an easy change. I think I'll just probably do that. I'll wait a couple days and see how people respond to this video. We're going to have the stuff that we make for Black Scout Survival up on the website next week. The hammy or the ham roll should be available as an option tomorrow. And the remainder of the gear, the bundles that I had for the Christmas, that's on there right now too, if you want to take advantage of that. And that's next business day and saves you a bunch of money. All right, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Here, I'm going to give you one last little cheers to you guys. Thanks again for being here. You know the deal. If you got questions, comments, reach out anytime. That's what I'm here for. I mean it seriously. I'll do the best I can to help you out. All right, Gene, get them spun up. Get them spun up, Gene. Here we go. Until then, keep thinking, keep moving, never quit. All right, everybody, be good. We'll see you tomorrow night over on CLS After Dark.